Welcome to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl, Goddess Naquita, aka Pretty Red ENT. And if nobody told you they loved you today, just know that Goddess Naquita, she loves you today, okay? Alright guys, I want to send love and light out to the night sky, okay? Like, I know a lot of people, I have never really heard people say, like, shout out to the dark night of soul, the darkness in the dark night of soul. That's what I'm shouting out to, okay? Alright, I was sending love and light out to the night sky, like, because I love the night sky. I'm one of those people, like, I really like to look outside and be like, oh my gosh, is this a sky? This is. What a beautiful thing, like, it is during the day, but also at night, like, you can see a lot of things shining. And, you know, baby, I gotta shine even in the darkness, okay? How are you beautiful people doing? I want to say something, okay? It is 2025. I am going to do like an episode where I make my predictions on what's going to happen. But I want to say when New York did the ball drop at 2025, like according to, you know, the calendar they made after like Columbus came over here, I want to say like I have been around and woke, very woke, okay? Not on cruise control for some years now. And 2025, like New York time, I definitely felt an energy shift. It was a big energy shift. Like I don't know how to explain it, but to say like, as soon as it was like, Happy New Year's. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's not New Year's where I'm at yet. But I felt like a big energy shift. I don't know how to explain it. It was positive. It was like loving. It was just like the best energy you want to be in was right there. It didn't like shift, and you can still feel that energy. Like, so for all my sensitive people like myself, yeah, you in alignment. That's how you in alignment, okay? Baby, you in alignment. So I just want to say that shout out to everybody that have been putting in the work last year. This year is the year that everything pays off for what you've been putting in work for the past few years. This is a 9-year. 2 plus 2, okay, is 4 plus 5 equals 9. So this is a 9-year, and 9 is about receiving rewards. You close out the cycle. Now it's like a new beginning. If you need to let go of anything, it's going to like fall off. You don't even have to tell it to move. That's how I feel about it. Some people might feel a little bit different. Like you got to tell, sometimes you got to say like, I need you to leave me alone. But I think like this is more about letting go. Like if you know it needs to go, like let it go and be at peace with it. That's how I feel like that. Now, for your personal year, how you add that up is your month, your birthday plus the year, right? So say for instance, your birthday was 1/3/2025. So you'll be like like January the 3rd. So you'll be like 1 plus 3 gives you 4. Then you're plus 9, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? And then you will say 3 plus 1 equals 4. So then you will search up on Google, because I'm telling you how to find out the information yourself, okay? What does a personal year of 4 mean? Okay, 4 is about building connections, building, because people who have a life path 4, they know how to build them connections. They know how to get what they want. It's all about like a square. To me, that's how I look at it. Like everything's connected. So it's like really about what are you putting on the end of those corners, right? But with this being a 9-year, I feel like whatever you've been trying to like manifest or whatever you've been trying to bring in and whatever you've been putting work towards, it's going to really pay off and show off this year. It's like, okay, you want to brag? You got bragging rights right now. Okay? Can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Like, if you know you've been doing it, you gonna feel it. You've been seeing it. You just know. I don't know. I feel like this is like the best year yet. Like, that's all I keep hearing. It's like the best year yet. Like, also, guys, Venus did move into Pisces. Some people might be scared of that. That's a lot of soulmate energy. People who usually have Venus in Pisces, they're very psychic when it comes to love. Like, I don't know how to explain it besides Pisces is a very spiritual sign. So when it comes to them having Venus in Pisces, that means that they're very spiritual. They're very romantic. So it's going to be like a little romantic vibe to February. A lot of soulmate energy floating around, you know. So if you looking for love, it's bound to be there. You also do know the nodes are going to change. The true nodes. It's a Venus in Pisces. I said Venus in Pisces. Pisces, the north node, and the south node is Virgo. So y'all gotta be prepared for that. I'm here just to tell y'all, be prepared. Shout out to the people who's actually been putting in the work. These two nodes play a big part. I'm gonna go into that maybe a little bit later. About the details in that, but I definitely want to say, like, I'm so proud of everybody here that listens to my podcast and everything. So, guys, I want to talk about like 2024. Like, that year just did me great. I don't know about nobody else, but it was like, okay, I'm loving this right now. Like, it was really a transfer of like energy, but like, I feel like if you've been putting in the work, you receive the work, and some of the stuff that you've been probably working on spiritually, physically, mentally, like, you feel the transfer in that. Like, it's kind of like a wheel of fortune. What goes up, got to come down. You also see that in the media, but as far as me personally, I really feel like I've been having the best years of my life. Ever since I spiritually woke up, and not saying that I haven't always been spiritually inclined, because I've been spiritually inclined since I was little, but ever since I got very in tune with me, life, all that, like rocking around with everything that's going on, I have been in a very good place. I cannot say anything other than like, bruh, I am feeling great, guys. Like, I love y'all. I hope y'all feeling this energy. I hope y'all been putting in the work. That's the only thing I can say, because I definitely have. Like, I got some good stuff to tell y'all, but I'm a person like, you don't hear trees tell you they grow, they just grow, but you can hear them though. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, you can literally hear the trees grow, but we don't talk about that. That's a whole different episode, a different day. But I want to say, like, I did a lot of letting go last year, and I also did a lot of like being able to speak my piece with love, not resorting to the way how I used to be. Also, like, being in situations and learning, like, okay, I need to set a boundary here with myself. Because sometimes, guys, like, you could be the problem. And people don't like to admit that. Like, I don't know, I'm going to tell y'all this. This is some real stuff. I'm sorry, I got to get into y'all real quick. I am a person that I will admit that sometimes I might be the problem. And people say, why? I'm like, because I'm very caring. It's not that I'm not caring. I don't want to not be caring either. So I have to place myself around people that also is the same way, because then that energy flow creates a big like transfer of like this energy that just gets higher and higher. It doesn't never go low, right? So I did reflection on like people that I love, and I did a lot of family work last year. I don't know. Because that Pluto moving to Aquarius gave me like real good energy to like move forward and see how this energy is about to work with me. And now once I see how I said, oh, this energy about to be crazy, okay? It's about to go dumb. And when it moved back into Capricorn, because where Capricorn sits in my birth chart is a little bit different than how it sits in most people's birth chart. So me dealing with, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, okay, I noticed like how I was able, like I wasn't even able to see certain people. Like I don't even think we were on the same timeline, on the same planet. Like I haven't seen people and they be outside and I was outside in the summertime. I was outside in the summertime. I was outside in the wintertime. Just never saw them. We never saw each other. And we was actually in the same place at the same time. Never saw that person ever. I was like, wow. But that just lets me know, like, I'm vibrating at a high pace. I like it. I'm not for to come down to talk to people anymore. I'm not changing my standards for who I am just to make somebody else happy. I no longer can do that. I'm also in a place where I'm able to say, I'm hurt. I didn't like the way you spoke to me. It was mad disrespectful. And let me tell you why. And able to express that and feel okay to feel like, you know what, I'm able to say this out loud, like I'm hurt. Like instead of saying like, nah, I'm cool, but I'm still crying. Like, nah, you wouldn't be crying if you was okay. But being able to be transparent with communication in areas that I need with my life and who I am right now is very important. And so I always encourage people, like, if you're not able to speak up for what you want and who you want, when are you going to speak that up? Like, or who's going to do it for you? Right? Because the universe can speak for you. Angels can speak for you, your ancestors, God, Jesus, whoever y'all believe in, Muhammad, Buddha. Like, but inevitably, you have to be able to speak for yourself, right? I'm a person like, I love speaking up for myself, but I also do a thing. Okay, y'all, sidebar. Okay, I don't even know which one I'm going to do. Like, I also do a thing. Okay, like a real big thing. Because that's how I feel like my ancestors would be say, like, yeah. Where I'm able to say like some things might offend even my ancestors when people talking to me. Because most people don't even really think about that. And the way how like Black people been really going into speaking up and like the way how the Black community really starting to gatekeep our culture, I'm loving this right now, right? Some people like, what? Like, no. I'm literally at school and this white lady says to me, she says, well, it's not like you Black people are keeping hoodoo alive. It's us white people who keep it alive. I said, so how can you keep something alive that you did not create, that you was not a part of? Like, and if Black people actually really do culture, if we're tying something to the culture, the Black American culture is hoodoo. How can you say that we're not keeping something alive when it's embedded in us? It's a difference. And I was like, that's kind of disrespectful to all the Black ancestors. Like, you disrespectful to the ancestors, not just mine, but everybody's, right? And a lady was like, oh, I said, I noticed that you keep trying to connect to the people who are biracial in hoodoo, but you're not connecting to the Black people in hoodoo because they ain't playing no games with you. Like, you gotta, I said, baby, one thing for sure, two things for certain. You need to know which side that you on and stay there. But to insult Black people and say that in front of me is mad disrespectful, knowing there's not a black person that I know that there are certain hoodoo traditions that we do subconsciously that we don't know why, but it is that. So that's something, it's embedded in us. And so I feel like that's kind of really disrespectful. And our first religion was hoodoo. It wasn't Christianity. So once if you know what I know, then you'll be like, oh, okay. But it's kind of very like disrespectful to hear you say that, right? And I was very transparent, like when I said it. I feel like every ancestor of mine was just like, yeah. Like other black people ancestor was like, get them. I was like, wow. But it was like, how disrespectful are you to say that to someone who is actually black? That black people not keeping alive their culture. That's what you're saying. And then you're saying crazy stuff. And so it's like me being able to speak up for my culture and speaking up for my ancestors is speaking up for me. It's just like once you start healing yourself and you start doing healing work, no matter what color you are, what race you belong to, nationality, once you start healing yourself, you start healing your ancestors, right? So that's the same thing, like, because maybe, I feel like my ancestors and a lot of other people's ancestors are a little bit different. My ancestors probably was the one of people who was killing people, okay? Killing these slave owners, all that. And I ain't gonna sit up there and say that they weren't, because they gangsters. So I don't know. Like, my mouth's bad. Their mouth's bad. So, but not saying that their mouth was bad or my mouth was bad. And the text that I'm using it in is like, not to play with us. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I think people transpire and say that is very mad disrespectful, and they feel like we should just keep taking it as a community. And I'm like really glad that our community is starting to stick together and like shut certain stuff down. You can't tell us this, you can't tell us that, get out of this, get out of that. And then it's kind of like, they not like us, kind of get rolled up, and it was like, okay, Kendrick, he went in. But if he was being honest when he was talking to Drake, you not like us. You the black people from Canada. You're not black American. We keep trying to tell y'all, like, y'all need to, you could come in our culture, but don't start disrespecting our culture and using our culture for your gain, and you're not giving back to our communities, because that's the same thing that colonizers did, right? So I feel like it played like a big part into the unity of the black community that I'm really enjoying. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's crazy. I remember sitting in psychology class in last semester, and it was like we were trying to make I was making a love survey. Y'all know me. I'm big love fanatic. So I was making this survey, and I was like, okay, I want to ask questions. And I was like, okay, so can I ask this question? Like, are you perping? Like, and he was like, what do you mean? The girl in the back of the class raises her hand and says, that's not professional. And before I could respond, my teacher, who is white, by the way, responds back for me. And he was like, first of all, like, it depends on who her audience, who she's trying to survey. And then the girl was like, well, she's in this area, so why would she be trying to make questions for people in Cincinnati? And I'm like, well, he asked for everybody to take it. So, I'm originally from Cincinnati. This is how we talk. My people talk like this. They're going to know what I mean by, are you perpet? They're going to answer that question like, what? Maybe she called me out. Like, it's a thing in the black community, but perping is a short word for perpetrating. So it was more like, I'm not here to conform. And my teacher basically said, like, well, she's black. She's targeting her community, so she needs to talk like she's her community. Half the time when people do surveys, they forget and try to keep things so professional that who's your target audience? If her target audience is people in Cincinnati, they're going to know what that means compared to people who's in different parts of the states. So I was really happy that he's like, but that's her culture. If her culture talks like that, then who are you to say that this is proper or not? That's not fair. And so before I could do something like that, I'm like, baby, I'm not in psychology I'm not here to conform. A lot of people in psychology that are black sometimes conform. I'm not conforming. So I stand on what I stand on, and there's no disrespect, but I do stand on what I stand on. And when I did make my love survey, I thought about every culture, but I target every culture, every like age group with my questions. It was very good. All my questions turned out to be scientifically proven to study, and it proved that it was studying what it was supposed to study. Okay. So shout out to me. Gotta 100% at that. But it's really a thing where a lot of times some people conform, right? And that's even in the relationships. People do that. Like, okay, you know that you do not like certain things. And sometimes you would, you know what, I'm going to just look at this like this is just me saying, hey, even though I don't like this and you do, I'm going to put my feelings aside to still be with you, even though I really like this. I was really talking to somebody. I said, a lot of times people conform on their deal breakers in relationships, right? And so this is the new year, and I'm going to make sure I start it off because it's going to be like a lot of energy with relationships and stuff. So what you're telling me is you should conform. And this is where relationships goes bad. This is that. I'm saying, so somebody asked me on Snapchat, y'all know I'm really, Snapchat's my place of business. I like, somebody asked me on Snapchat, like, what dating advice would I give somebody into 2025? So I'm giving y'all the answer here. Okay. So shots fired. I said there should be 5 questions off the rip you should ask people. Right. So I remember one day I was talking to my uncle and he said, Kita, you shouldn't date somebody who doesn't have a 3-year goal or a 5-year goal. And I'm like, why? And he was like, because like they don't know where they're going. They're just flowing they're just flowing. He's like, why would you flow? You don't know where you're going. If this person is supposed to lead you, because my uncle, he's a pastor, by the way. If this person is supposed to lead you, then how's he going to lead you? He don't know where he's going in 3 or 5 years. He doesn't know what he has going on. But I took that to another level. Okay. Took that to another level. So I'm like, So with asking these 3 or 5 year questions, the thing that I have learned, guys, if you are dating someone and in their 3 and 5 year goal is not to be with a person, they got so much goals for their business, their goals is for them, I don't think they like you enough. And people say, what do you mean? I don't think they like you enough. So if your 3-year goal is not to get married, if you're dating for marriage, if their 3-year goal or 5-year goal is nothing about marriage, why would you waste your time with this person? Obviously, this person does not see forever in you. And some people be like, well, they need to get to know you. Cap! There's enough black men that are in relationships with black women, or there's enough relationships with white men, whoever. It does not take a man that long to know if you are the one. So the thing that I'm like, okay, how can we stop playing games, right? So that's a deal breaker for me. Like if I was in the dating field and I'm like, okay, like what and I ask somebody like, so what's your 3-year goal or what's your 5-year goal? And they don't include me or say anything that I want to do in 3 to 5 years, then that's fine. We can have different career goals. But if they don't have a personal goal for their love life, I probably wouldn't date them. Okay, like that's just me. Y'all can do whatever, but find out your deal breakers when it comes to that, right? And then I would ask a person like, do they want more kids? Sometimes the more kid things is the deal breaker for people. I remember one time my friend, she was dating this dude and she wanted kids. He didn't, but he really liked her. And she thought that maybe she could change him. I'm like, you cannot change a man. Once they have their mind made up, they have their mind made up. Just like a woman, once her mind is made up, it's set, it's signed, said delivered, okay? So if somebody tells you they don't want children and you still date them, even though you know you really want children, that's kind of a deal breaker, right? So now you get in this relationship. Y'all been together for like 1 or 2 years. You thinking that he wants children, even though you want children, right? He's saying, I don't want children. You're saying, I do want children. You don't think that's going to cause an argument later on? Especially if you want a child And then what happened? He go do some sneaky stuff like the movies be doing it. He just cluttered himself up. He can't have no more kids. Now you thinking that he might be slipping up. And then here he go. He already got clipped. Now you're wasting your time. Now you're unhappy. You don't feel like you're being fulfilled, right? So my whole thing to this is you need to figure out what your deal breakers are and don't bend on them. Well, don't compromise. Don't conform for a deal breaker, right? I remember I was talking to somebody. I'm like, I don't believe in whooping children. I don't believe in whooping any child, but especially black children. I have never been in the business of that. Now, if anybody who know me before I had Malachi, they would tell you, I don't like to argue in front of kids. I don't like to see violence in front of kids. I have never been that type of person. I don't care what's going on. I really do not like whooping my son. I don't whoop him at all. So a lot of people be highly upset about that. It is what it is. Take it up with the boss, okay? I'm not about to whoop him. I just don't have the time and the energy in my body. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. I don't like that in order for us to have somebody listen to us, you have to hit them. So what you're teaching a child, even at that age, like in order for you to listen to me, you got to hit. I got to hit you. You got to hit me. So we kind of teach kids something, and then later on they start to do this when they feel like somebody's not listening to them when they get older. That sometimes brings up domestic violence. Okay, guys, just throw that out there. So that to me is kind of scary. Like, yes, I have been through domestic violence before, so I'm kind of like real worried on that. So to me, if I was to even date somebody and they believe in whooping people, I would not be okay with that. Like, that's a deal breaker for me. Like, because you like whooping kids. I don't like whooping kids, but inevitably what you're telling me is that you're okay with domestic violence. Like, I'm not okay with that. And then they might be like, oh, I don't see it that way. Like, but it is. Let's take it off there. Right? Once you start, hell, hitting a child, what is that? Once a child turns X amount of age, you know what I'm saying? Like even at 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up from 1 to when they turn 18, they in your home. You can literally go to jail for whooping them too much. Say for instance, you got a light-skinned child and you whoop this child. This child got bruises on them. This is now called domestic violence against a child. So inevitably, sometimes people don't even look at it this way. By you whooping on a child, would they be acceptable to accept domestic abuse, right? Like, are they going to accept it or not? But you told them that you're whooping them, and then they got to come back and love you. Like, this, it's crazy, okay? Like, I don't like it. It's just it's a bad thing. And I feel like you don't have to whoop your kids for them to listen. And my son's living proof of that. Like I literally can sit there and talk to him. He will cry if I talk to him on some serious stuff and talk to him about, hey, do you know why you did this wrong? And I explain it to him. He literally cries. But inevitably, what you're telling a child, if you whoop them, like you should still have to accept me and love me. So if they get into a domestic violence dispute, what's the odds of them going back? They have learned this behavior since they have been young, and it now has manifested when they got older. And maybe you was whooping them so much when they was young that now that they can't even take somebody else hitting them, and they just start dogging everybody else out because they're taking their anger out on somebody else instead of their mom or daddy. See, and that's not fair, right? Not at all. See, and then another deal breaker, it could be where you might want to live at, right? I was literally talking, who was I talking to? I was talking to this guy and he was like, okay, so let me ask you a question. I was like, what's up? And he was like, so my girl doesn't want to stay in the cold. And I'm like, she doesn't want to stay in the cold? He's like, no, but I don't want to stay in the heat. Like, and I'm like, so why don't you meet somewhere in the middle? He's like, I don't want to live over there. I want to live over here. but I love this girl and I'm willing to do that. I'm like, so is this a deal breaker? He's like, it kind of is. Because she's talking about she's going to break up with me if I don't move over here. And I'm like, okay, so if you don't, now that's something you could compromise on, right? Most people say you can compromise on that. But if your deal breaker is, I don't want to live over in the heat, I sweat too much going on. I just really like it over here. I have a better job. Why would I move where you're at and I have a better job where I'm at? Move to where I'm at. Like, let me take care of you instead of the other way around. And so I told him to meditate on it, pray on it, as his angels, ancestor, as the universe. Speak it out to the universe. The answer will come find you, right? But I'm like, inevitably, if this is a deal breaker for you, it's a deal breaker. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like you should ever compromise on your deal breakers at all. Like, this is the biggest dating advice I can give somebody in 2025. Do not conform. Do not compromise on deal breakers. You save yourself time and energy from anything negative in relationships, right? So I'm a firm believer of that. Another thing I would probably say could be a deal breaker, and like what a lot of people be talking to me about in the side of their relationships is really they be arguing over stuff where it's like communication issues. I feel like if you know that this person can't communicate the way that you need communication, why continue being with this person? Why keep wasting time? If you know that this is not your person, right? Why keep dating a person that you know that's not your person? Like, that's a waste of time. Stop wasting your time, your energy on the things that do not serve you. Like, I'm telling you, I'll be so cold. Like, when I was on the dating scene, guys, I used to be like, hold on. Like, what did you do? I'm like, bro, you know what? I know you're not even my person. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you alone. And it ain't even you. It's really me. It's just that I know you're not the person I'm looking for. You're not the energy I'm looking for. And I don't think I can be the person that you need. Because I see something, I see the games, I'm not playing, okay? Like, I'm one of them people, like, especially like if I start talking to somebody and all their responses is like they built a wall up against their heart and I should tear it down. I am not Bobby the Builder. I don't work for construction. I study psychology. So guess what's happening? If you want to date me, you need to take that wall down your damn self, because I ain't doing it, because I ain't put it there, right? Like, I'm not about to date with boundaries, none of that. Like, bro, you got me. No, that's too much. It's too much energy for me. It's a deal breaker for me. That is my deal breaker if I was on a dating scene. So I'm telling y'all, like, a lot of times people, just because they got like a good vibe from a person. And it's so crazy because with me, like, a lot of guys be like, ooh, they always catch these vibes with me. Like, please do not try to connect yourself to me without asking me. Do not try to know. Don't try to put yourself on my path. Like, this ain't gonna work. Cause I'm one of them people, like, if you're not for me, you're just not for me. I don't even care. Like, I'm not being friends with no man in 2025 besides my man. Why would I? Right? So I have different standards when it comes to different things. Like, okay, I've been friends with people for so long. Like, now it's just time for just me just to be happy. Like, I've always been happy with me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Pretty Red ENT, he's been around for a long time. But as Goddess Naquita, like, I am just full of love. And so I only want to be around loving vibes. But I know that men get attached, and a lot of men, they'd be like, oh, I just feel like you're the one for me, but I'm not. There is somebody else for you. It's just not me. And I'm okay with saying that. For a while there, like, I was still like, let these men linger and have connections to me. Like, oh, this and that. Like, you're really cool peoples. Can we just be friends? Like, you're my friend. This and that. Like, even though I know that you kind of like me, but you like me enough and I'm not the one for you. So inevitably, you standing there blocking the view of my husband trying to see me, which she gonna find me anyways. But I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird behavior to me. So people say, like, you know, like when it comes to certain things like that, it's like, why you in the way? Why don't you sit down so I can see that man behind you? Why don't you sit down so I can see them women behind you? Like, let my wife come see me. Like, that's what, because some of y'all women be playing these games too with men. Y'all know that they are really good men, but you really don't want them for real. So what happens is you just sit up there and you act and feed them just enough, 10%, to keep them hooked. Like, and then until Mr. Right come along, then now you want to cut him off, throw him to the, throw him back to the, on the stock, the shelf stock, and be like, oh, here you go. Like, that's not fair to him. Like, that's really not. And it's like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, I never led nobody on. And that's kind of weird to me. Like, I give myself props when it's that. Like, I'm not a person, I don't like to lead people on because I don't like to be led on. Like, if you don't like me, tell me that. Like, if you don't really want me to call you, but you like when I call you, like, you like to get my texts because it just do something to you, baby, if I'm a person I sense that, I'm going to cut you off. Like, I want to be, no, you're not going to play with me. You're going to play with your mama like that. You're just not going to play with me like that because I'm somebody else's mama and I ain't got time for that, right? So I really feel like a lot of times, like, men, y'all sometimes let certain women play with y'all like a fiddle. Value yourself. Like, you are worthy enough to be loved correctly the first time. Not the second and third, fifth and sixth and seventh time, the first time. Right? And I always tell people that, like, hold on. Like, my little song for my little anthem song is that Elliot Trent first time. Okay? Check that out, guys. He said, I'm just trying to buy like Ohio State. Okay? He's like, but I'm going to love you right the first time. I ain't going to need a second time. So if you know that, then you know that. Why should people have to keep accepting your weird behavior? Like, that be weird to me. I don't know how to explain it. I'd be like, okay, like, no, that's weird behavior to me. I'm not going to accept that. That's hurt behavior. Stay over there. Guys, start recognizing the red flags in people. Do not ignore them at all. Like, like, I was just watching a movie, Netflix. Y'all know I love romantic movies. Y'all know that. I think it was like, It Ends With Us. Like that, I think that's what the movie called. It Ends With Us. And I'm like, well, who the hell is us? And so I'm watching a movie and she meets this guy. He's a surgeon. He's cool. Now he's a player, right? So what she does with the player is, hey, I'm not going to give you no play. You got to date me, take me serious. Now, what's wrong with that? Right? He told her off rip. He said, I don't date people. I usually have sex with them. And that is that. Now, why would you even sit up there and entertain a man who say he just play with women? And then you know that's not what you want. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't compromise and don't just because, it's a right moment or energy. We have this, like, they had a electrifying connection, right? And then it's to the point where the girl walks in her store. She hires her to work for her. The girl creates a new store, a flower shop, hires her to some girl walks in off the street, say, hey, you looking for help? I want to help you, blah, 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 blah. Ends up being the dude that she met, the surgeon's sister. And her sister was like, I don't want you to date my brother. Now, I feel like universal-wise, God-wise, angels and ancestors, were they giving her logical stuff to be like, hey, I don't want you to date him. Here go a warning. Some people just don't be listening, right? They want to ignore the red flags, and he's still trying to have sex with her, even though she does not want to sex him. but she's entertaining the thought of sex. Even though she says, no, I don't want sex, and he does some aggressive behavior to her, right? So that's like, if you know you don't want sex, why are you in the room with this man one-on-one and you know he wants sex? Now, granted, we like to cuddle. Some guys, they want to cuddle. They want that intimacy. Not gonna lie to you. They like it. They like it. They love it. Okay. They want some more of it. But that has nothing to do with, should you technically, if you know that this man is a player. Now, if you know this man is a player and you really want to date seriously, why would you even do that? Now, sidebar. I kind of feel like this is a twin flame relationship, and most people say, like, why you say that? Because it started with the first dude. She had sex with a homeless dude, but she liked him. She ASAP took care of him, and so this man almost died because of this girl. And I was like, oh my gosh! I was watching the movie. I started crying. Y'all know I'm a sucker. I'm not really a sucker, but y'all know I'm a really diehard romantic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how he feels. I almost died to love someone, right? Like, you don't want to not say that you don't love this person, because you do. Now, here's the thing that's triggering in this movie. Something happens where the surgeon and her, they're kicking it tough, right? Which I feel like she shouldn't have dated the surgeon. He shows some signs of aggressive behavior, but women, we like the intrigueness of that, right? He showed a lot of signs of aggressive behaviors, like where, okay, you tell him you don't want sex, but he's still trying to have sex with you. One, that's aggressive behavior. Two, that's somewhat about to be turned into baby rape. Okay, I call those type of people baby rapers. Okay, you're a baby raper. You're not all the way right a raper, but you're still a baby raper. Like, I just told you I don't want to have sex, so now you gotta touch me sexually. Why would you do that? Like, you don't care that I just said I didn't want to have sex? Like, you didn't hear that the first time, right? So I feel like the signs were always there for this young lady. So the lady's name's Lily. Okay. So next thing I know is her past, because the movie, that little, Netflix give a little cap of what's going to happen when your present and your past collides. So she had this tattoo of this heart on her shoulder blade. And the reason why she had this heart was because of the guy who restaurant. Her mom was like, we need to go to this restaurant, try this restaurant out. We'll do woo. Ends up being the homeless boy's restaurant. He's the owner of it. Everything he cooks there is him. It's him. It ain't nobody else. It's his shop. So she doesn't really tell the surgeon everything she needs to tell him about this young man. Now, I have a good thing and a bad thing. Like me, I'm a person like, I would have asked. So this is a part of my deal breaker questions. These are my questions this is number 3. Is there anybody else that can come back and grab you from the past? This question is very important, right? Because why would you date somebody and they say, you know what? And if people are honest, now you can tell people are going to lie about this question or if they're honest about this question, right? Prime example, like a few years ago, somebody asked me, so if there was somebody from your past, is there, it's kind of funny that somebody asked me that. Somebody did ask me that. Maybe like a few years ago, they asked me, is there somebody from your past that could come get you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to say no, but if you was to ask me that today, no, those doors were closed. They locked down. I don't even know baby, I don't even live in that same universe. They're closed. That's over with, right? But this young lady knew that her feelings was she loved him. And that boy loved her. He almost died for her. Like, literally, her dad beat the crap out of him and put him in the hospital. She said he almost died. So to me, you can't say that you don't love that boy and you never seen him after that. You can't say that you don't love him. Y'all love story never even had a finish yet. So that's the reason why the Netflix movie is it ends with us, right? So, make a long story short, the girl seen her mom get beat on, right? Next thing you know is something happens with the surgeon. He cooking. She tells him when he kissing her, she's like, hey, you probably want to go get the stuff out the oven. He's still kissing on her. He doesn't go get the stuff out the oven. He tries to pull it out. She tries to be like, hey, look, what's going on? He's like, no, just stop. Now, there's a few things that she did wrong in here. Once a man tells you, hey, chill out, stop, I really think that you should take that serious and just stop. I'm not, boy, I don't know. I done been through enough. I ain't gonna say I've been through domestic abuse. I really haven't been through it like how some women have been through it. But I don't know. Once a man like yell like that, I don't even think we can even be together no more. Like, baby, once you even raise your voice, change your voice even changes your tempo while you talk to me. I'm out. I'm out. Yep. 1, 2, 3. That was 3 strikes. You out, baby. You gone here. The game is over with. You won. I'm gonna leave. So I really feel like a lot of times, like, people take their time and so let me get back to the movie. So basically, when this happened, he ends up hitting her and she has a bruise. They have to go to dinner. They go to dinner. That's where they go to dinner at. Her past at her ex's restaurant. Now, he's very protective over her, which he has every right to be protective over her because she helped him. Right? So, but he's also like, he doesn't like abuse. He's seen his mom getting abused on. He doesn't like certain stuff. So he looks at her and he sees that she got a bruise on her eye. He walks away. They end up talking about it in the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. He said, you're acting like your mom. You sitting over here taking this abuse. What is wrong with you? Like, it's only going to get worse from here. She's like, I'm not telling that to my mom. He said, but you are. Like, why would you let him abuse on you? They walk out, and then her boyfriend and him get into a fight. The surgeon got to go, okay? The surgeon played in Jane the Virgin. Mateo, like, yeah. Like, I was like, oh, okay, Mateo. But I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, the thing about this is he showed her every sign, like, that he wasn't the person who she was looking for. And she wasted her time. But the thing why I said I put a pin in it, like a pause, was because you cannot run your twin flame. There's no outrunning that. Like, yeah, y'all might take a break for a second, but y'all be right back. But most twin flames don't really break up, and I feel like they never broke up. Like, her dad almost beat him to a pulp. Like, he was beat up pretty bad to a pulp. She said he almost died. She never seen him out there. First of all, he was underage, and so his mom probably got involved. She never seen him after that, and she knew that he was going to the army, the military. He did just that. I really don't think that man, he told her that he had a girlfriend. She lied. He lied. He never had a girlfriend. His house was named Cassidy, but he never had a girlfriend. I believe, like, y'all got to understand something. Like, and it doesn't seem like she had another boyfriend either. Like, real people who, once you find that real love, like, you don't really get over that. I feel like their love story didn't end. It was only just the beginning. Like, maybe it was some things was trying to make it stop, but it was only just the beginning. So I feel like they actually break up. No. Her daddy walked in with them having sex and he started to beat that boy up. But he didn't want her to get hit, so he didn't even fight her dad back because it was her dad. So to me, their love story never ended. They never broke up. She was hurt by what her dad did. Then she was in a conflict of interest because her dad did that. And then he tried to probably apologize, say he was sorry, but he also beat on her mama. Right. And then she had to go talk because her dad, at the beginning of the movie, her dad dies. And she had to go talk at her dad's like funeral. She ended up walking away because all those memories flash back. Like she kind of hates her dad, but she loves him. But she hates him for hitting her mom, but also hitting a boy that she really loves and almost killing him. So y'all got to understand some people's love stories haven't ended yet. So you need to be asking people like, is there somebody else that can come back and get you? Especially if your love story, y'all really didn't end. Like, I don't even know how to, let me use a great example. So I remember when I first dated, I dated a twin. Okay. By the way, if y'all didn't know that, I dated a twin. And, me and his relationship was like really good. I ain't gonna lie and say like, nah, it wasn't good. Like the trust level was there. Everything was right when it came to him. I'm not gonna lie and say like, no, I felt comfortable. Yeah, like it was great. This is like the kind of like the era of the first like time I experienced love, right? Boom. Me and him, we didn't technically break up. Like, and I feel like, yeah, we broke up because women break up with men before men break up with women. All right. I feel like, because I didn't start, like, after me and him stopped talking, I didn't talk to another man for like 3 years. And then, like, me and him had a conversation. I seen him over my brother's girlfriend's house, and me and him talked. I was like, nah, it's time to end this. Like, whatever, like, I just want to end this. Like, I want to end on good terms. Like, we always said that if we break up, that we would just be friends. And I'm willing to do that with you because it's just not going to work out. But me and him actually like had a great talk. He was like, I don't think you should be with me anyways because I'm in the streets and you're not. Like, you are going to be somebody, so be that. So, like, at that time, if there was somebody trying to come and talk to me at that moment, I don't feel like, but me, I didn't allow no one to come talk because I wanted to make sure that subconsciously I was making sure like, hey, this door is shut. I'm one of the people like, nah, if I start to date, there is nobody else that can come through this door and remove me from this door besides your actions that you're going to do. Baby, this game is called Hangman. Okay. So I feel like a lot of times when we get into situations like that, where you're asking and you're talking about like people and dating, like you need to be asking people, like, is somebody, because like Cincinnati, they'd be like, are you married? Are you married? Like, bro, if you married, it's the first question. Like, why I have to ask you if you married? I remember I asked the person, I said, so are you married? It's like, no. I'm like, so are you married? It's like, yeah. I was like, so what the hell does that mean? Like, what? Why I gotta repeat the word twice? You know what the fuck I said the first time, right? Because some people don't admit that. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was so hot. I cannot lie to y'all. Like, I was so hot. Like, what do you mean you're married? What type of weird behavior is this that you try to get me involved in your mess? How is that fair to me? Right? That's one. How's that fair to the person that you committed and you became one with? So, but that still isn't fair to me. So I want to say that, like, these are questions that you should ask a person. Is there somebody even think that they're in a relationship with you? Because you got people that be thinking that they're in a relationship with you. Well, you know what? Kind of got this crazy person and they think that they're in a relationship with me, but I don't know why. Like, but it's like some way you probably leading them on, right? How about we start being honest? It's 2025. Like, if I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. And I'm going to tell you that. Like, let's talk about that. Right. So this is a very big, important question that I feel like you can't conform on. Like, somebody says, well, yeah, I have somebody here and they couldn't come back. This and that. Cause I was like that. I'll probably say like maybe 3 years ago, I had a door open for somebody. I literally asked that person, I said, do you really want me for real? Like, I'm willing to date you on some for real stuff right now. Like, bro, I'm willing to, like, move my whole life around to really date you and take you serious. This person said, you know what? Whoa. I said, all right, fine. I shot my shot. You're blocked. Guess what? This door is like permanently closed. There's no more talking. There's no more getting together. There's no more, cut it down. Like, once you pick a side, stay there. Don't try to hit the block. You see me blossoming and you see me being a bright star or a beautiful butterfly. I just came out the cocoon. I'm the flower that's blooming. No, you cannot skip the block. You cannot hit the block again. Stay over there. This is G block over here, not B. So I just feel like at times like that, like some people are not honest. And it's so crazy that I was just talking to somebody and they were like, so what happened with your situation? It was a dude asked me that, like, because I even told this young man, I said, I don't kind of want to talk to you right now because I feel like I still have feelings for somebody and I need to see if I can cut them off. And I was very happy that I was transparent with that. Some people, they're not transparent with that. I'm like, so I don't want to get with you and then you start to love me because I can tell that you like me for real, which I have great energy, but I don't want to get romantically involved with you if I have feelings and love for somebody else. That's not fair to you. I have a son, so I wouldn't want some girl to do that to him, right? Or I just don't want that energy because I know how it feels to get that done to. So this young man says like, dang, like that's crazy. Like, so what happened? And so I was like, oh yeah, like when I asked him that, I expected him to block. Even if he would have said yes, I still would have blocked. And he was like, why? I'm like, it's the fact that I even had to ask that question. Like, once I started asking it out loud, I was like, nah, I'm cool. Like, the feelings is off. Like, that door is shut. Like, you're not going to keep me in this romantic story. Like, no, this story has ended. This story ended a while ago. But it's just like, sometimes people linger stuff for a while. But for those stories, guys, that I'm talking about, where they don't have an ending, you kind of get in the middle of that because the person that I kept the door with, we never really ended at all. Like, we just stopped talking. Like, I got busy, he got busy, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like I got a lot of stuff going on, and we just stopped talking. That's like life was lifing. That's that expression right there. But like anytime like we would ever link up, you would have definitely thought like we have been in love for years. Like that's the thing that was. And I was like, I gotta cut that off. So it was like, now it's just like, we ain't even friends. We ain't nothing, bro. I don't know. I'm one of them like, no, we ain't nothing, bro. I'm good. I'm real Gucci. You Gucci, I'm Gucci, baby. It's all love. So to me, I really feel that you should definitely ask this question. It's a very important question. Is there anybody else that can come through the door and get you? Right? And some people be like, oh no, like, yes, it's an important question. So my last final question I feel like you should ask people when it comes to dating, which is very important in 2025, right? Is asking people, how do they like to receive love? And really being transparent with that. And really asking yourself, how do you want to receive love? And remove the notions of what you have received. Like, and take that time to romance yourself to figure out, what would I like to receive in love? Like, prime example, I don't know how I should say this. So like, every time, like, in order for me to feel like I'm loved, I need gifts, right? Some people don't. They want you to cook for them. They want you to clean their house to show them you love them. Or it could be, they actually want you to hear, they want to hear you say it. They want you to affirm them. It can actually be, physical touch. They just want you to touch them. You touching them, holding their hand, or you rubbing them, giving them a massage, lets them know you love them. So these are all different forms of how you want to feel like you need to be loved, right? Like, and then you're talking also no birth order. Which child are you dating? Are you dating a baby? Especially if you dating a male baby. Oh my gosh. That's like dating a female baby. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a baby. I'm the baby, but I'm also the middle child. So it's like, that's a little tough right there. It's a little bipolar. It is. It's all right though. But you really need to know how you really want to receive love. So that way you're able to recognize that. Because some people, they will talk and waste your time all day and tomorrow. Keep talking and keep talking. That's going to bother you. If that is a deal breaker, then that's a deal breaker, right? I'm like, oh, you have not shown me you love me today at all. Like, I need a gift. Or you haven't shown me you love me at all. Like, you haven't tried to spend no quality time with me. You haven't did this. You haven't did that. Like, oh no. I need you to physically rub my body down. Like, so you need to really get into depth with knowing yourself and then asking somebody like a question like, what does it look like when you're fully in love? Right? Like, what do you need to feel validated in love? Like, then a question would be like, what are you looking for in love? Because some people, they're not looking for the same thing you're looking for in love. This is a good question to ask at the beginning, right? And this kind of gets you into the step of knowing this person love language, knowing how they like want to be loved is what does love look like for you? Do you want to be in a relationship or do you not? Because some people don't. And sometimes some people be wasting your time. And don't waste their time. Don't waste mine. I'm not going to waste yours. Stay over there and I'll stay over here in my lane. But what we're not going to do is play no games, right? But some people, they're just not into it. They might have the intention to say like, I want love. But you have to see what they're doing to get that. So you have to watch actions and listen to people's statements and different stuff like that. Because they can talk to your face is blue. Like, I'm one of them people like, nah, you can't. Like, some people, okay, I ain't gonna lie. Especially when you dating like rich people, right? When you got Big Bang Hank, right? Big Bang Hank, they throw out gifts all the time, right? But it depends on what kind of gifts. Like, prime example, when I went out on a date with a Haitian, like, I told that man a year ago that one of my things that I really love and treasure is a certain particular thing. When we went out on a date, he bought me that. Like, literally, like, I don't even know how he remembered that. Like, he bought me that. And then he demanded that we didn't leave until he gave me that. So, to me, like, I will not accept anything less. It is crazy because I remember I also went out on a date. I'm going to have to end it after this, y'all. But I also went out on a date and I was telling dude, like, when you take me out on a date, that's when me and you can talk. Like, I haven't even dated you. I don't even know if me and you like to do the same things. Like, and when it comes to dating, I like to be outside. I like to have fun. I like to play games. I like to do mass crazy stuff that you're probably like, really? Like, yes, really. That's me. That's her. I'm active. So if you're not active when it comes to dating, you rather quality time be spent with indoors or in silence. I'm not that girl. I'm not for that. I'm an Aries on top of that. So, some days I do want to be in the house. Some days I don't. But most of the time, like, I'm an Aries. I like to be showed off. But I also like to have fun. Like, I don't know. Aries people, we love to have fun. I don't know what Aries that don't like to have fun. But I remember I was dating this guy and I was like, take me on a date. He finally took me out on a date and the way how he cussed me out was so like, I couldn't even be mad. Like, he was beautiful with it, right? Because some people, their love language is different. Also, culture is a thing. Like, he black. And so he was like, listen, I swear to God, if you pull out any money in front of me, I'm literally going to beat you up in here. But I'm going to punch you. We'll do woo. And I'm like, what? He was like, usually I make girls pull out money. But with you, I'm not going to do that with you because my level of respect and love is a little bit different, where I know that you are a woman and I value your presence. So if you get low on this car, I think we went to like game work or something like that. And he's like, you get low on this car, you better not put any money on there. You better come like get me and tell me to put the money on there. Like I'm gonna supply everything. What you want to eat, it's on me. All of that. So like it was just the transparent of him hearing me say like you gotta take me out on a date before me you can even talk about anything else. But it was just the transparency of all that, guys. Like if whatever you really want, you have to say that you want it and stand on that, and don't bend on anything less than that. Like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm one of the people like, some people like, well, let me take you out on a date first. Like, no, give me my gift first. Like, no, I'm just playing. But all jokes aside, for real, like, you know, like some people put on a show, like you need to know like what personality you dealing with and who you dealing with. Like, but if you want to be like open to experience, I feel like just be open to it, but also ask your deal breaker questions right then and there. Like, what is your goal for life? And this could be like a question, an opener question, especially if you're dating somebody freshly new. Like, what is your goal for life? If you want to be married and this person doesn't mention marriage within 3 to 5 years, do not date them. They will waste your time. Like if they don't have any personal goals when it comes to love and you have a personal goal when it comes to love, don't date them. They're going to waste your time, right? Like, no, you don't know what you want emotionally. You don't know what you want for your heart. That's different. But if you're a person like you really like love and you really want to be loved, you want to be in a relationship, this and that, there are certain things that you need to ask in order to keep yourself safe, and you won't be getting hurt again in that same pattern. That's a cycle, guys. Like that's a nasty one too. Like you like, you want to get out of it. Like, no. But then also, guys, like if you know a person, they chose somebody else over you, stay there. Okay. Like don't let people keep showing you. How can I put it to y'all? Don't let people keep showing you that they don't mess with you and that they don't love you. How many times is a person going to show you like, I don't like you? Especially with you being a woman and somebody like that. Men, if they like you, they show you they like you. I promise you that. Like and my brother is prime example. I have seen it. I have men that like me. Like, what? You need gas in your car? Like, matter of fact, I don't even have to ask for the gas. Like, hey, you know what? Like, you need some gas or something. Like, let me send you some money for some gas. Like, it was crazy because my Haitian did that for me. It was my birthday. He was like, here, go buy some drinks. Oh, me. Like, what? We didn't even link up yet. Send me $100. Like, what I'm going to buy $100 worth of drinks on? Like, what? I just appreciate you giving me any money. Like, so to me, did he show me that he liked me? Like, yes. He showed me he likes me. He showed me like, hey, I hear you. I see you. Mm-hmm. Hey, boo. I like you. So, and it's so funny because I asked him one day, I was like, you were kind of the best that ever went on. He was like, that's because I like women. He was like, but I like women. So I know what women want. Like, you know, it's a little bit different. So me, it was the transparency and conversations with me is totally different than a lot of people. But I definitely want to say that to people, like in general, like make sure that you don't waste your time in your relationship. If you need your relationship to be renewed, see how you can come to common grounds and see how you would want to be subjective to being loved better and properly. Like you might don't like the fact that your lover don't wash the dishes. Talk to them like, hey, I don't like this. Be transparent and what you want. Like, hey, I want to go on more dates this year. Especially if you married, because a lot of married people, they kind of get busy with life and they forget to date. Like you still got to date this person even though you're married. So how about you be like, hey, you know what? This year we're going on dates. We're going on vacation. Like make it your obligation to do like a vacation with your husband. Like, let's go on vacation. We're going on an exotic vacation. Like, let's save up for this. Let's make sure that we got everything taken care of, even if it's one trip every 2 years. But this is something that we must do. It's a requirement. Like, you literally have to stand up for the things that you want. And if you want your relationship to work and you know that you need this, then you need to do that. Hey, we're not going to do no phones, no work, no nothing. It's us. We're rocking this week. This is our thing. Write a contract out. This is what we're sticking to. This is our plan. So I feel like a lot of times, like, people don't have that communication part where it's like you're not telling your partner exactly what you need. Like, this is what I need. If you cannot provide that, tell me, so that way we don't have to keep going through conversations and that we're wasting time. So I feel like, guys, please be transparent. This is a great time for love this year, guys. I feel like the great time for love moving forward. I don't know how to put it like that, but to say that that's what I feel. That's what I see. That's when, like, hearing people in the love scene and, like, me on astrology a little bit, I'm like, dang, like 2025, 2026, 2027, they all looking about right for love. Like, but you can feel that energy. Like, it was a big energy shift, like, for love. Like, I feel like the spiritual people been putting in that work to put love back into Mother Earth, and Mother Earth responds to that. Like, hey, there's a lot of people that are really starting to love, and they loving each other a little bit more, and especially the Black community really loving each other a lot. Like, the universe hear that. Like, it's just the way I feel it is strong. I don't know how to put it, but you know, certain people can feel certain things, but I am in a spiritual group, and everybody was like, man, that energy shift was powerful. I said, it's super powerful. It's like, every day I go outside, I feel love and light. I be in my bed feeling love and light. People be like, what? I'm like, I promise you, I feel love and light. I don't feel anything else besides love and light. Like, love and light energy, when it hits this planet, is powerful. Like, I feel that at a high rate. Like, it's like the universe is responding to, like, love. Like, I don't know how to put it besides the universe, like, it's love. Like, y'all been putting in great work. Y'all haven't been really being evil. Like, y'all really been loving on each other for real. Like, and like, it's showing off. I don't know how to say that besides say it that way. So, guys, like, be in tune. Love yourself more. If you need a chance and you don't really know how you want to receive love, take the time to really date yourself and figure out what you like for real. I'm a person, like, I went when I was on my spiritual journey, like, I went on a self-love journey, which is totally different. And I was just like, okay, let me see what I like, what I don't like. And I was like, you know what? I'm buying me something new every week. Like, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to spend some quality time with myself alone in the mirror. Like, and I felt really happy doing that. We're not going to talk about that. But I really felt like I had a moment where I just spent a lot of quality time with myself. Like, I really love that. So I really feel like you need to, whatever that you searching for in love, you really need to put that into you, and that be reflected back out to you. If anybody who's to date you the way that you need to be dated, that's going to reflect back out to you. I promise you that, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I was doing some and I'm going to wrap it up after this. I was doing some self-love, but I was on my self-love journey. The way I put lotion on my body and was rubbing my body, and it kind of wasn't sexually, like, to the point where, like, I don't know, I kind of turned myself on, and we're not going to go there. But I was really, like, taking the time to appreciate myself because I went through a moment of self-hatred, right? And that was a long period, by the way. That was from, like, 3rd grade all the way up to, like, 30. Like, so I was taking the time to, like, really, like, love on myself, like, say I love you, and just appreciate every part of me, my cells, my skin, my nails, like, yeah. And then when I, like, y'all know, and you know what the silence mean. If y'all don't, then you know, bumping and grinding. But when I did that, that person reflected what I was doing with self-love to me. Like, when I was doing self-love to myself, that person did that to me. Like, the way they rubbed on me, it was really weird. I'm like, how would you know how I rub myself? Like, they were just very sensual and sexual with that. But that's the energy that I was giving off. So I want to say that, like, make sure that y'all take that time out, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. You take that time out, guys, to really, like, love on yourself and try to figure out how you like to receive love in every single form of love. Whatever you think love is, like if you think sex is love, then how would you want to receive sex to feel that you feel validated during sex? And you might even need to do this with your partner and be like, hey, look, I really don't like it. I don't feel like I feel loved when you do this type of behavior during sex. I need this behavior during sex to feel love. Can we try that or no? Or do you not like to do that? And then that could be a deal breaker too. So you need to make sure that you ain't bending on your deal breakers. Because if you like to please your partner does not like to please you, then y'all gonna have a problem and y'all gonna have arguments, and then somebody's gonna feel like they're not being loved correctly. That's what happens when people go and date beyond deal breakers. So I feel like every question is good questions, but guys, like if you're trying to enhance your relationship to the next level, I really feel like these are good questions to ask when it comes to like how you want to receive love. Because you could be receiving love because this person gives it that way, but not because you like to receive it that way. And learn how to be transparent like that. Like, hey, that was cool. Then I just want to say, like, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It just means that I need to receive love this way in order for me to feel love, right? So guys, take that time out to really experience love in every form of your life. That's the only thing I can say. Take the time out to be at one with your love life and with your life in general, and figure out how you want to be more in love with your life. Like, prime example, me, I'm trying to fall in love with me, my life right now. And I need space to figure that out. Like, what does love look like for me? Like, and took the time out to really do that. A lot of people don't know that. Like, I really took time. Like, people who know about me and my spiritual journey, they know I've been doing that. But like, where I'm at now, I'm in a great position to be like, this is how I like to feel love and experience love. So guys, like, take your time out every day to figure out how can you be of service when it comes to love, right? Guys, just know that later on in January, the nose is changing from Pisces to, Virgo and Pisces and True Node and South Node is Virgo. So if you got placements in Pisces and Virgo, it's kind of like the nodes are switching to love. Like, and that's going to be for a second. Like, I think for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the reason why I keep telling y'all, like, I don't sense any, like, there's some, planet shift, but like looking ahead and feeling the energy ahead, like, I'm like, all thing I feel is love. Like, I know, like, I manifested like the world just changed to love, but baby, that manifesting that and seeing it happen at the same time is like really different. Like, it's like, okay, like that's kind of, it could be spooky and sometimes it was like, dang, I was right, okay. But it's like the planet is moving back into love and spirituality. So it's more like, because Pisces is a spiritual sign, guys, and Virgos is top tier love. They're lovers. Virgo is a lover. So Pisces is also a lover. They're deep love. They're water love. Like, they're real emotion love. So that's True Node, South Node. Okay, so you got the South Node being true lover, and you got the North Node being, real emotional. So get ready, guys. Okay. Like, I'm just saying, guys, like, I love y'all. But let me know how y'all feel about this. This is my intro to 2025. You feel me? Like, get ready for the love, because love is here. Love is the answer. Love is the way. That's the energy. I promise you. Anything that you love and you love to do, it's going to work out. If you're doing things that you do not like to do, if you're with somebody that you do not like and you do not love, you're just with them for different reasons other than love, I promise you it will not work moving forward. This is not the time to be playing around. Y'all think I'll be playing. I'm trying to get y'all game. 2 + 2 = 4. You feel me? Sometimes 1 + 1 might equal 3. Depends on what kind of math you're doing. But at the same time, guys, it's really moving to love. Like, y'all gotta understand something. Like, moving love and Do the things you love. If you love working where you work at, but if you kind of don't like where you work at and you want to do something different, do that. Because if you're somewhere you don't want to be at, it's not going to work. I'm here to tell y'all my side of the story. I'm just here to tell y'all like what it is. But guys, I really have great feeling about this for the next like 10 years. Like it's really, the planet really going to shift to love. Like it's going to weave out all the bad things and then it's just going to be like, you know, it's kind of like the hippie movement, but times like 20 is how I feel about it. But guys, let me know how you feel about this episode. If you like what I was talking about, you know. But guys, I really appreciate y'all always supporting me. Shout out to everybody who listens to the Pretty Red ENT Show. Okay, y'all the MVPs for real. But let me know how you feel about this relationship talk. You know, I kind of threw some psychology in there because, you know, I study psychology, but also I threw like Black psychology in there because we are different. And I also threw some things in there like culturally, like for every culture, but love is universal. So love is about everything. Like I love what I do. I hope you love what you do. But if you don't like what you do, you don't love what you do, find out what you like to do and work at that. Like don't do anything and you know you don't like it. If it's too hard for you, you've been trying to make it work for years, maybe you should stop. Especially when it comes to relationships should never be hard. They should be easy. You either go together or you don't. It ain't no in between at all. Like we either go together or we don't. Like, and that should be how you put that. Because some people, they put up with stuff they all the time because they compromise in relationships and it never works out. And you wasted 10 years when you could have been doing something else different. You feel me? So it's time to like learn a lesson. You learned the lesson. The karmic time of Aquarius and Capricorn. I mean, Pluto and Capricorn. That was the karmic time. The deep stuff, the deep wounds, the deep ties. Yeah, it's time to come up out of that and you will succeed. If you came up out of your cycles, you will succeed that. You will see that pays off this year. Okay. Guys, I ain't gonna take a hit out. So let me know how you feel about this episode, okay? Let me know. Hit me up on any platform at the Pretty Red ENT Show. Let me know how you feel about it for real. You know, I love talking to y'all. Y'all really be cracking me up. Y'all be like, okay, well, why don't you talk about this? I always like opinions about what you think I should talk about, different stuff like that. But guys, I really love y'all. Thanks for always tuning in and tapping in. Make sure y'all go follow me at my actual webpage at the Pretty Red ENT Show.podbean.com and let me know how you feel about me there. Show my webpage some love. Okay, some love. Guys, yeah, I'm on all social media platforms at the Pretty Red ENT Show. But guys, thanks for always tapping in, zooming in, and listening to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl, Goddess Naquita, aka Pretty Red ENT.